Nick Murray is the Emmy-winning director of VH1's RuPaul's Drag Race, and he's nominated again this year. I'm Denton Davidson for Gold Derby. Nick, Drag Race has been on for 12 years now, but it really started as a niche show, and it's exploded in recent years, and it's gone so mainstream, 19 Emmys, it's wildly popular. It's not the traditional trajectory of a show we typically see that sort of explodes after being on for a few seasons already. What do you think that says about the culture we're in and the ability of this show to bring drag to the mainstream?
Well, nice to meet you, by the way. I feel that it's been a cultural shift in general across the country, across the globe, and what started out as a niche show, like you said, has become mainstream, and I think that is down to the way the world is at the moment, and how it's changed over the past 10, 12 years. There is a culture of more acceptance, more diversity across the board, and this is something that this show has done from the get-go, and it has been a driving force, I think, culturally across genders, sex, the world in general, I think, and that's down to who Ru is. It's down to all the queens that we have on the show, and just the power of love in a way, and a show that started off in a shoebox, if you will, season one, and transformed itself over 13 seasons to what is now the global phenomenon that it is. In a way, I think it's the most cultural significant television show in the past decade, if not the century. Maybe where we are at the moment, and that's a testament to RuPaul. It's a testament to all the queens that we've had on the show over the years, and I'm humble and proud to be a part of it. A small part of it. I love the show. It is a driving force of culture, like you say. And I don't know, I pinch myself every season when we do it again, and I'm like, wow, here we are, even bigger, with more eyes on us. It's definitely moved away from the original perception, and I think I said it in an interview in the past. It's men in dresses. That's a very small part of it now. We don't just have men in dresses, we have all sorts of people in dresses, which I think is wonderful. And one of the crew, when I first started doing it, was excited. He sent me a text saying, "I'm so excited to shoot cars. It's been such a while since I did that." And I'm like, see you in the morning for some cars.
And it stays true to drag, and that it keeps the edge and the comedy. But families watch this. Kids are at drag shows now. If you go to a drag show, there's families there, and kids I think form a large part of the people who go to DragCon. I mean, it spawned so many different wonderful things over the years, including DragCon, including, I forget how many offshoots of the show now across the entire globe, from New Zealand to, I think, Thailand, España, to Holland. I mean, it's taken off in a way that I don't think anyone expected it to, but maybe hoped, and they've done a fantastic job. We've done a fantastic job, I think, in creating this new way of looking at things, this culture of acceptance, this culture of include everybody. We're all here to play, and we welcome everybody with big open arms. Have they given you a drag name backstage, or have they threatened you with the makeover that you guys sometimes have?
Well, if you remember back in season 9, we made over the crew.
Yeah.
And for a hot moment, somebody suggested me, and then I had to point out, well, who's going to direct the show? That was a quick get out. However, I did turn up
to the shoot those 2 days, completely transformed. My wife did a stunning job.
I'm curious what it takes to successfully direct an Emmy nominated or winning episode. Creativity, uniqueness, nerve, or talent?
All of the above. I don't know. I mean, it's I've been directing for 20 some years now, 22 years. Yeah, I know I don't look that old. I don't feel that old, actually. And working on the show, actually, it keeps me down with the kids, I feel. I don't know. It takes a village, as we like to say on the show. It's not just me. I'm part of the team guiding the ship, I suppose, and I have a wonderful team underneath me with regarding the crew, the lighting department, the camera department, audio, and everybody. It's a real team effort across the board, and the producers that come up with the creative every year are just the best in the business. I mean, I don't know how we do it every year. I don't know how they do it every year, but they come up with something new, fresh, innovative, fun, entertaining, comical. I got to work every day and I laugh.
Yeah,
side-splitting laugh, and and some of the stuff you don't see, which ends up on the cutting room floor because we have not enough time to put it all in. But it is beyond fun. Let me tell you, it's a dream job, really, that I've been fortunate enough to do now for, including All Stars, over 21 seasons.
incredible.
Which is crazy.
The episode submitted for the Emmys is Getting Lucky, where we see the queens write and record lyrics as they perform to the world premiere of RuPaul's new song, Lucky. What was your favorite thing about this episode, and maybe the greatest challenge that made it stand out for you?
I picked this episode out for myself as to be put forward to the Academy. I'm very proud of the end product that is the video Lucky. I think it's one of the best things that we've ever done and shot on the show. And the way the editors compiled everything that I shot on the day is outstanding. It's fun, it's innovative. We shot it over 2 hours. The queens were outstanding. They pandered to all my needs that I wanted, all the different shots and the takes that we did for each queen. And I think one of the challenging aspects of shooting a video like that is that we not only got to shoot the video on the day, but we've also got to shoot the rest of the show, which includes the runway, the lip sync, them getting ready before the runway and the lip sync. So we sometimes we don't have the luxury of time, and we're a little pressed occasionally to get everything done within our day. But again, when you work with the best, it turns out great. I'm very proud of the video. I love the way it looked. I was involved on every level, from conceptualizing it, from the lighting design. And I mean, I just make you laugh, and it'll make Jamal Sims laugh, but I gave him a few pointers even. And I'm no dancer. It's a big collaboration. The whole show's a big collaboration. And no ideas are thrown out or not, or not listened to. That's one of the joys of working on the show.
And towards the end of the episode, we see the queens giving advice to their childhood pictures. And that gets really emotional. And that's one of the things that I think people love about Drag Races. It's so funny. There's a lot of comedy in drag, but there's a lot of heart in your show as well.
Yeah, it's all about, as as Ruth says, it's if you can't love yourself, then how are you going to love everybody else? It all comes from the heart. It's all love. And I think it is interesting. And it sometimes makes everyone think, what would you say to your younger self? What would I say? What would you say? And I think it is one of those poignant moments in the show when we get down to the last 4 or 5 queens. It's nice to ask them what would they have done differently? What would they have pushed themselves to do, or accept this or that? I think it is.
it leans into one of the reasons why the show is so successful is because it does have a big heart. You know, we're not about just the comedy and the frivolity and all of that. It comes from a place of emotion and feeling and love and all of that good stuff.
And how much did you have to change with, the world sort of upside down in this pandemic? I mean, everyone had to make shifts, but what was, the most challenging for you?
Well, first of all, in a way, we were able to. We were one of the first productions out of the gate, if you like. The decision was made way above my head that we were going to shoot, 2 seasons last summer, and we were going to start at Pacific time. So VH1 and Viacom, together with The World of Wonder, put together a very comprehensive set of rules and guidelines by which we had to shoot the show, which made us all feel very safe indeed. And what it allowed us to do was we made certain adaptations to the set and to accommodate these protocols. So we enlarged the workroom, which I think added and it certainly made life actually easier to shoot some of the stuff in the workroom by having a bigger space. And I think it elevated the look of the workroom because we were able to give it a dash of paint and add some elements to it that we didn't have before. We did a relight, and basically, I mean, we were lucky. Basically the professionalism of the crew and the fact that we've been doing it for so many years. We didn't compromise at all when it came to the protocols or the safety of the crew, but we were able to shoot the show in pretty much the same way that we normally do, and that's down to the talent and professionalism of the crew. I think we produced a great product, and we even up to the production value overall, to be honest, whilst still having social distancing, testing, and adhering to all the protocols that the World of Wonder and Viacom required us to do. There wasn't really, I look back and I think, we should have, I don't think it restricted in any way the way that we shot the show that would have been detrimental to it. Like I say, I think the production value went up, and we shot 2 great seasons.
And Rosé, Candy Muse, Got Mick, and Simone were the 4 finalists. And to me, it was, one of the most competitive and closest finales that I can think of. I think any one of them would have been a great winner. Do you notice that from season to season, that sometimes, there might be a clear-cut favorite, and then others you're like, oh, this is going to be a nail biter. We don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah, and I think season 13, and maybe it had something to do with COVID, I don't know, but it was such a tightly run race at the end of the day. It could have quite easily been Rosé. Any one of them. It was, and then of course they're judged over the whole season, and then the fans have some sort of input as well of who they think they should be the winner. But they all seem to bring it. Again, maybe it was COVID, but they all seem to up the ante a little bit and really hammered it home. It was great to see, and it was great to watch the evolution and the development of them over since we first meet them when they first walk into the workroom. It was great, and they were all incredible talent that have gone on to do even bigger and better things. And that's a testament to the show as well.
And it's always fun to see the guest judges and mentors that come on and participate. This season you had Anne Hathaway, Scarlett Johansson, Colin Jost. Have you been surprised by how much some of these big stars just they love this show?
I'm not surprised anymore, and it's I'm surprised when people are not a fan of the show now, to be honest.
That's a good point.
It's we're very lucky to, and again, COVID allowed us to invite these people onto the show in a way that we maybe wouldn't have done in the past. You know, Anne Hathaway live in the workroom. It was an immense joy to see the looks on the Queen's faces when she popped up. Totally out of surprise, by the way. It was all, we switch her on and then bam, there she was. And reactions are very genuine from the Queens at that moment. They're all fans, to be honest. They're all fans and they're proud of it, and we love having these big names on the show. And they keep getting bigger and bigger.
You can use it for future booking, not that you need it, but Cynthia Erivo and Nicole Byer were both guest judges, and now they're both nominated for Emmys for their own projects. So maybe that's a perk you can advertise, is RuPaul's Emmy magic.
That's right. Ru again is up against Nicole Byers in the best host. But I have to say, I know where my money's going.
And just to wrap things up, how has this impacted your life or changed your life as a director since you came on? I'm sure this isn't something you thought about doing as an upstarting director, that you would ever end up in this position.
I never ever thought I'd have a gold trophy on my living room mantelpiece. That was the pinnacle of my career. Since a very early age, the directing was the only thing that I ever wanted to do, and it never dawned on me that I could be involved in a show that would have such an effect on people and be so widely accepted and received critically, as well as from a fan base. It's humbling. I think over the years I've grown as a director. I've become more mature as a director. I'm able to look at things in a different way. It's opened my eyes to an aspect of culture that maybe I, as a straight man, would never have looked into if it wasn't for Drag Race. So I'm extremely thankful and proud that I'm part of this, like I said earlier, global phenomenon now. It is everywhere I go. I mentioned Drag Race, and they're like, in a taxi in New York, and seriously, anywhere. A lady came around to talk to me about putting some new closets in my house, and we'd been emailing, and she came to the door, and I shook her hand, and she said, "Oh no, I know who you are. I see your name every week." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I'm a massive fan." I was like, "Oh my goodness." It's crazy. It's unbelievable. I have to pinch myself, that this is happening, and continues to happen every year. I might add, it gets bigger and bigger.
Well, it's such a great legacy, not just for RuPaul, but I think everyone that's worked on the show. Well, Nick Murray, we want to wish you the best of luck at this year's Emmy Awards. I'm going to encourage our viewers here to head over to goldderby.com, make your predictions for the upcoming Emmys, beat those experts, and while you're there, make your predictions for Drag Race All Stars. We always do all the Drag Race predictions as well. So you can check out more interviews with top awards contenders like Nick here. And again, thanks so much for chatting with me today about RuPaul's Drag Race, and good luck.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.